Hey guys, I'm Anchal from AnchalMUA, and today I'm going to be comparing the new fantasy brushes from Superdrug to some high-end brushes. Before we get into this, I want you to guess which side is high-end and which side is fantasy brushes. So I'm going to start off with an elixir on my face first, and I'm going in with a bit of a glittery one just because it wouldn't really be a unicorn kind of makeup look without some glitter, right? I'm gonna get some foundation on, and I'm taking the fantasy brush by Superdrug right here, and it feels super soft. It really is packing on that coverage just because it's quite a dense brush, which is great. So I'm gonna move on to this side of my face now, and I'm gonna take more of a high-end brush, and I'm gonna do the same. There's not that much difference between the fantasy brush and the high-end brush, so I'm loving that. I'm going to contour my face now just with this B Makeup Sculpt and Highlight Contour into the hollows of my cheekbones, just on my temples. I'm gonna take the Fantasy Foundation brush again to kind of just brush that contour up, and voila, it is blended out super easy. And then again, just on the head. And let's move on to the high-end brush side. So again, I'm just gonna do the same kind of motion. So I've quickly just concealed underneath my eyes and around my face using this Flower Beauty concealer in the shade light medium, and I have to say I loved it. I'm now going to just powder my face with some translucent powder. I'm taking the powder brush from Fantasy Brushes. Oh my god, this brush is so soft. So you can use it just to dust or pat on and hold your makeup in place. For the high-end side, I've got a powder brush right here. Isn't this almost a bit too big for my face? I mean, it does the job, but I prefer a smaller powder brush for my face. There's not really much difference, I have to say. Next up, I'm going to bronze my skin just to warm it up a little bit further. And I've got this B Makeup bronzer in the shade 02 Medium. And again, I'm gonna take one of my fantasy brushes. You can see the shape of the brush is nice and angled, so it will help me to get into those cheekbone areas. What I also really love about these brushes is that all of the handles, if you notice, they kind of have like a pinched in area over here, so it makes it super easy to hold. So I like that it's nice and pinched in. Moving on to the high-end side, the handle on this brush is slightly larger, so definitely a little less comfortable to use. And again, not really much difference between the two sides. So I've just applied some highlighter, and I actually used an eye topper from e.l.f. I'm gonna move on to some blusher, and I've got the B Makeup blushes, and I'm taking two and I'm gonna mix them. So I'm going to take the Fantasy Brushes blusher brush. It kind of evenly distributes it. Perfect. I'm gonna apply the blusher on this side of my face now using a high-end brush, and you don't make this up. Seriously, that applied just way too much. It looks like I'm very, very happy on this side. I have this I Heart Revolution Angel Heart palette, and I love how bright this is. And I like the shape of this brush because not only is it kind of like flat to pack on the product, it's also fluffy enough to blend. So then I'm gonna move on to my high-end side. The fantasy side is so much nicer just because this side really isn't giving me the blend. And I'm going to use the e.l.f. eye topper once again, and this is in the shade Liquid Gold. Just gonna blend that out. It's just giving me a really nice smooth blend. So I'm just gonna do the same again on the other side. I'm just gonna pat over. I can't see too much of a difference between both sides. I actually really loved using the fantasy brushes. I really enjoyed how they applied my products. It just made it really super easy, even though it's super affordable, which is great. So yeah, I love that there's really not much difference between the two sides of my face. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, and for more content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought. Thank you, bye!